Hello, this is Kirk Nelson with Brilliant Twisted Skulls. In this installment of Chainmail Tips, Tricks, and Ring Flips, we will be discussing half Persian 3-in-1. Check in the description below for links, supplies, and tools used for this video. We'll be using the Ring Lords 18 gauge 7/32 bronze with an AR of 4.9, and the Ring Lords stainless steel 18 gauge, that's SWG 18 standard wire gauge, not American wire gauge for both of those. 18 SWG 7/32 with the stainless with an AR of 4.74. Let's get started here. So what we're going to be discussing today is half Persian 3-in-1 and the absolutely most ridiculously easiest way to weave or to start half Persian 3-in-1. So what we're going to do is we're going to start here. You can see that I've already built this this little section of European 4-in-1, and I've added the last ring as a central ring, as an end ring. I've added, I think, 16 gauge 5/16. It might be a 3/8, but not important. Just a larger ring, just something to mark the end. And then this will also be your store ring. So after we're all done, you'll understand what that means and why that's important. But we'll start this in this orientation. So it's very important that you look at this orientation of the rings that we have here in this European 4-in-1. Note that the center rings are all layered so that they are facing up and away, and they're stacked. This ring on top of this ring, this ring on top of this ring, this ring on top of this ring, so that they're stacked up and away. So away from you, going that way. I always start this if I'm starting some sample pieces of half Persian 3-in-1 and I'm using this method. This is the way I do it. And so this is the way I always orient this European 4-in-1 every single time. So let's get started. Let's pick up our little weave here of Euro 4-in-1. And we'll get that nestled in here so you can see that really well. Oops, sorry about that. Okay. So still have it in that same exact orientation. You can see that this ring is up and away. So it's facing away from me. It's pointing away from me and up. And it's stacked on top of the ring behind it. And what we're going to do is we're going to start in this little space here. If you look right here, you see there is a spot where these two rings, this ring, and this ring, create an eye. What we're going to do is we're going to come up from underneath it and then through that eye. You can see that? Come through the eye, and then we're going to come around, and so that we're going to capture that next ring. We're going to come up over the top of that next ring behind it. And then we're going to go over the eye that's created by these two rings, this one and this one. There's another eye right there that we're going to go around. So that's going around the eye. So we went up through the eye, and then we went around the eye created by these two rings. Okay. So we'll close that guy. And then we'll grab the next ring. Again, like I said, every single time. If you do it this exact same way every time, it becomes memory, and it makes it really easy to do this. And as you'll notice, something I'm going to show you here, I do what's called nesting. And so I don't know if you can see, I never put the weave down, and I always keep my pliers in my hand. So I've always keep these active. And what I do is I take my middle finger, and that's why we call this tricks, tips, and ring flips, because there's always going to be some ring flips. Even those of us who've been doing chainmail for a long time and have mastered a lot of this, we still end up losing a few rings And you know, doesn't matter how advanced you are, you're still going to end up losing a few rings here and there. So don't kick yourself if your workspace becomes a landmine of partially open rings that you have to dodge every time you walk through in fear of impaling your toes. But anyway, so as you can see here, I've got this this ring in here that is up through the eye and then around the eye. And the ring, the second ring, of the stainless steel ring that I'm using, is going to come up through the eye next to the previous ring we wove. And then it's going to capture, it's going to come around and then link this other ring, this bronze ring in that row. And so we're going again, we're coming up through the eye. If you look at it, we're coming up through the eye here, over on this side. So it'd be on your right-hand side. And then we're going over the eye created by these two rings on the left-hand side. And we're going to close that up. Then I'm going to try to give you another perspective on this. See if I can get this in a position where you can see it come in from a different angle. So I'm going to hold it like this. And so I'm going to come in here, coming in next to the ring that we just wove. And so if you look at it, the eye that we went around with the previous ring is the eye we're going to go through with this ring. And then we're going to come up over that next bronze ring, which is part of the Xoron one. And then it's going to go around that eye created by the next ring. So you can see there where it's coming around the eye. And we're going to close this up. And you hear that clicking, that means we're getting a good tight butt on our rings. So the end of the rings where they come together is called the butt. And you want to make sure that those rings butt well. Okay, so you can see here again where we went. Let me see if I can get this up here nice and close. So you can see right here where this ring is going around this eye right here. Right there. And I'm going to take, again, another stainless steel ring here to show you where we go up through that eye next to, on the outside of that previous ring that we just wove. And then we're going to go around the eye again of the next ring. The next paired rings there that are in laid on top of each other. Okay, so it's going to look like this when you're done. Now, you have actually just created a section of half Persian 3-in-1. This, you could be done. That's it. And then you can just continue weaving the 3-in-1 past this point. Take this center row of rings out. And then you have what I call a right-leaning half Persian 3-in-1. But we're going to go ahead and show you how to mirror that now. So we're going to flip this around. And now what we want to do is we want this guy so it's in the right orientation here first. So it's like it's supposed to be. And so now we're keeping it so that we're still, so if, you know, we were looking at it from this way, this is the way we started. We're not flipping it over, we're just turning it. So now the middle rings are facing you, they're pointing up and towards you now. So they're still pointing up and towards you versus the other direction where it's just spun around where they're pointing up and away from you. And the reason we do this is I found that this is the easiest way to mirror this weave. We're going to start grabbing a stainless ring. And we're going to catch the second ring back. We're not counting this guy here. That's going to be our end ring. We're not counting that guy. We're counting the guys in this row, the rings that are in this row. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 rings. These 5 rings are in a row. We're going to catch the second ring back here, and then we're going to come up and over and through the eye that's created with that end ring, and the first ring in the row. See that? And so that's going to mirror exactly what we did on the other side, because we came through the eye, here, and we come through and then we go back into the eye here. So we're going over the eye. If you look here nice and closely, you can see that here at the end, oops, there we go. On the end, we're going through the eye, and here we're going over the eye, created by these two rings over that eye. Okay, and this is super easy. Here we go. We're going to keep following that line, that line there. We're going to grab the first loose ring. See this guy? Super loose ring. This guy's already bound by that stainless steel ring. This guy's a loose ring. We're going to take that guy. We're going to catch it, and then we're going to go through the eye created by the first and second ring, and we're going to lay right on top of the previous ring we wove. So this will be on the outside if you look at it. So it's laying up on top of this first ring, and if you look across, you'll see they look just the same. This guy is mirroring, this guy is outside, this guy's outside of the first rings. Okay, let's see if I can get another perspective on this so you can see it. Let's go ahead and pull it up like this. Yep. Okay, and this is a little difficult to do this way, but I'm going to show you. So I'm going to catch that one ring, and I'm going to come up. Ooh, this is a little difficult to do it this way. And I'm going to capture those rings. I'm going to go through the eye. I went over the eye here, over the eye here, and I'm going to go through the eye where that previous ring was woven around the eye. See that? Can you see where that's coming through the eye there? Okay, let's close that. And let's go ahead and put this last one in, and then I'm going to show you what you have. Let's go ahead and, so we're going to capture that last one. We hooked it. We're coming up from underneath, catching it, and then we're going to go down and through the eye of the ring pair in front of that. So that would be the third and fourth ring. So we come up under. So if this is laying properly, make sure we get this good. So if you come up from under, turn, and then go down. Oops, but not, you go on the outside of that previous stainless steel ring. That was a close call there. So come down and through the eye like so. And then let that drop. Close that up. Nice clean butt there. And yes, I just said clean butt. Okay, so now we look at this. Here we have actually the start of what's called dragon back, Persian dragon boxtail, a number of other Persian and European mixed weaves. And so normally what I'd do is I'd probably go ahead and take the center row off with my pliers, but I'm going to go ahead and just cut that off, and so you can see what we've got. Go ahead and pop those off real quick. Just make this super fast so that I can show you what you've created. And here we go. Let's get those rings out of there. Okay, so what we've done now is we've created a left and a right leaning starter for half Persian 3-in-1. And I recommend that you once you make one of these, you always keep a little section for future starts, because it's good to know how to start some of these weaves. It's always good to be able to do them from raw, But honestly, for expediency and efficiency, keep some of these starters so you can just start off right away. You just pick up your starter, start adding rings, and then take the amount of weave you need off, and then you've always got that starter for real quick future weaving. It's just a simple way to do that. And so here's an example. But so what we've done though is created again a left and a right leaning, half Persian 3-in-1, and now you can go ahead and do that for pretty much any size you want to get in that any wire thickness size, whatever gauge you want. It's the same. You can do that with anything down to whatever, 26 AWG up to 8 SWG or whatever. Any wire size you feel comfortable working in, you can do that as long as you have the right aspect ratio, that AR is correct, and you just start it like that. Thank you for watching. Like and subscribe to see more of our videos. You can also find our written tutorials at Brilliant Skulls on Etsy. Now, obviously, our business is Brilliant Twisted Skulls, but unfortunately, Etsy doesn't allow you to have enough characters to fit in Brilliant Twisted Skulls. So on Etsy, we're Brilliant Skulls. You can also follow us at Brilliant Twisted Skulls on Facebook, Instagram, and Pinterest. You can find all of these links in the description below. And thank you again for watching. I hope you enjoyed.